how are you? My name's Samantha. It is the 6th of January and this is the introduction to my new Flosstube channel. So, a little bit about me. This isn't actually like a new venture for me. I have been recording Flosstubes on, I had done a couple on here before and then I had deleted them because I wasn't really stitching and it had been a really long time in between. So I had deleted those ages ago, and then when I started getting back in stitching again, because I had been moving house and everything, and it's not because I don't like stitching. When I started stitching again, I had started doing some Flosstubes on my other channel, which is like a more crochet centric type affair. And I have decided now just to split everything off and have my Flosstubes separately to my crochet things. So here we are having a Flosstube. So we're going to have a little bit of a tell you about myself, and then we'll have a little bit of a WiP parade to show you the things that I'm currently working on and how I organise my stitching. Badly would be how I organise my stitching, just, you know, spoilers. So a little bit about me. So my name's Samantha. I currently live in Loughborough, which is in the East Midlands. I moved here just a couple of months ago from Wolverhampton. I am Scottish, but I've lived in England for about 16 or 17 years now. Probably closer to 17 years now. I lived in Wolverhampton, which is in the West Midlands, for about 12 or 13 years. And lived there with my ex, my kid's dad, and I have 3 kids. I have 3 boys. The oldest one is nearly 25, so he's moved out. He lives with his girlfriend. My youngest 2 are, one of them's just turned 10 and one of them's about to turn 13 in April. I suppose not about to, a couple of months' time. So yeah, those 2 live with me most of the time, and then they spend some time with their dad as well. So that's pretty much my little setup. I have a dog called Lilith the Destroyer, mother of demon dogs. She's a Staffy Lurcher cross. She is an absolute hellhound. She may appear every so often. She tends to not come in and like be too annoying when I'm doing videos, but she does appear occasionally. And if I record through in the living room, she will probably be sitting on my lap because she thinks she's a lap dog. She's not. Right. I know, what else can I tell you about myself? I run a small business, which has now been split into 2 small businesses. One I'm just starting up is a stitchy based one, and the other one is a crochet knitting kind of mostly yarny accessories and homewares. I'm starting to build websites for them at the moment. They're a bit of a work in progress. Previously I've been selling on Etsy, and Etsy's just, yeah, Etsy's just not doing it for me. So I have been building websites. So hopefully they'll be up and running pretty soon. With the stitchy one, it's going to be selling finished things, and I do embroidery as well. I'll show you any embroidery that I do on here. And project bags is going to be the main things on there. Right, what else? I think that's probably about it. If you have any questions, if you want to know anything, just let me know. I am an open book. I spend most of my social media time is spent on Instagram. So if you need to get a hold of me for any reason, Instagram is usually a good bet. Right, let's show you my stitchy stuff. So I have 8 projects on the go for what I'm doing at the moment. One of them is the Haid style, Heaven and Earth Designs, and that started 1st of January officially. It did start a couple of days before that, and it's a year-long stitch along, or however long you want to make it. You get, I'll show you the pattern. Let's have a look. The pattern that I'm doing is this one. It's called Elegant Company on a Terrace. as you can see, full coverage. Heads. If you don't know, Head is Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a full coverage company. I think they were the first big full coverage company that I had heard of. I've got quite a few of the patterns, but I've never actually completed one of them yet. So I'm hoping this is going to be the first one. It's not the sort of stuff that I normally stitch, but I'm very interested in classical history. That's what I'm doing my degree in. So this, and you can see like the pillars and things here. It's all very classical-ish. The child thinks that this is Leonardo da Vinci, so we're just going with that. We have decided that is Leonardo da Vinci. What they do with the Heaven and Earth SALs is they will take either a design specifically made for the SAL, or they will take a section of a bigger pattern and then they will resize it and rejig it a little bit to make it so all the patterns are like just over 80,000-ish stitches. There are 12, I think, different patterns that you can choose from, and what you do is you pay for, you can't join this anymore, but you pay for one of them and you join the Facebook group, and then the patterns get released on the 1st of January, and between the 1st of January and the 31st of December you have to finish 6 pages. So they're releasing sections, so far I think I have 4 pages, so you can do it all at the beginning, you can leave it all to the end when you have the full pattern. It depends on how you like to stitch, I suppose. I'll show you mine. I am trying out Royal Rose and I'm really liking it. Oh God, we've got a lot of fringe going on here. So this is across the top of the first page, just this bit here, and as you can see, we have sky. We're going to have a lot of sky. The sky is going to be pretty intense, but it's going to look beautiful when it's done. It's going to look so nice. I'm doing 25 count easy grid 2/1. I'm using CXC threads for this, which I've never used before, and I'm quite liking them. They're really nice. I think they're a tiny bit thicker than the MC, but not by much. I mean, I don't know if I would be able to mix and match them. I also like just playing with this. This is... oh dear. So I am 1,800 stitches into that so far, and the kids go back to school tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get a bit more stitchy time, because it's not difficult to stitch, but there's quite a few different colours in it. It's not confetti as in just like 1 or 2 stitches of each colour everywhere, but there's lots of colours within the block usually. But it's giving a really nice effect and I'm liking it. So that's like my main long-term thing, and I'm stitching on that every day. I'm using an app called Stitch Pal. Let's get that up and show you. And what you I don't know if you'll be able to see it. No. Right, what you can do is you put in the total amount of stitches. So this entire pattern has 83,284 stitches. You put the date in that you want to have finished it by. I've put the 1st of December, so that gives me a month over the course of the year for a bit of wiggle room. And then it tells you how many stitches you need to do a day in order to do that. Why does this say I've completed 1,799 stitches? That's not good. That means I've missed a stitch somewhere. Anyway, so I will need to go and investigate that later. So I'm using that to keep track, and I'm just doing a bit more when I can, and it seems to be going okay so far. So yeah, that's just going to be plodding along with that. The way that I do my floss tubes is I make a short video in the morning where I spin a wheel that has my other patterns on it. I stitch on my Heaven and Earth every day, and then I spin a wheel to see what else I'm going to stitch on for that day, and I do that Monday to Friday, and then I upload my video on Friday. And then on the Monday I show you how far I've got on my sal and whatever it was that I've stitched on the Friday, and then anything else I've stitched over the weekend. I've left myself the weekend just to stitch on what I want, because sometimes I don't get any stitching done at the weekend because life is busy. I only see my boyfriend at the weekend because he lives an hour away. And the kids are here every second weekend, so we like to do stuff because they're still at the age where they want to do stuff with their mum, which is nice. So yeah, that's the Heaven and Earth design. The rest of the things that I have, I will show you. I used this wheel. Am I going to focus? There you go. So I used this, and I have all my WiPs are in categories. So I have a full coverage, a monochrome, a printed pattern, a kit, a fancy lady, and a PDF, which is just like something that's that I've bought from an online shop or whatever. So I'll show you all the different things. Let's start with the other full coverage that I've got, which is this one. Right, let's close you and let's open you. So this is the other full coverage that I'm doing. This is Mini Snow White and Alice. This is another Heaven and Earth Designs one. Now this one I had started before in like 2018, and I had decided that I was going to colour complete because the amount of 310 in this is ridiculous. It's about 18% of the pattern is just 310. So I thought, oh, it'll be easy, I'll just colour complete. Turns out I can't count, so I've restarted it. I was also doing it on, I can't even remember what fabric I was doing it on, but I was doing it 10 stitch and I wasn't liking the coverage on it. So now I've switched to this. I'm trying out diagonals, which I've never done before, but I think, because with the other one, I'm stitching 2 blocks and then parking underneath. With this, I'm stitching diagonals and then parking to the right, and it just feels awkward for some reason, and I don't know why. So I think I'm going to convert this one as well and do it the same as that one and just start doing Royal Rose. I think that will make me a bit happier. It'll also be easier for moving the hoop, I've just realised. Because if I'm doing diagonals, I'm going to have to move the hoop at some point during the diagonal. Oh, this one, did I say this one's done on 25 count? This one's 28 count. I didn't know which I prefer, so when I was getting the fabrics, I decided to get one of each. So this is on 28 count easy grid, easy guide. I don't know which one it is. This is Swigart. And it's not very interesting to look at, it's just black. Because this is up in this corner here. See how it's just so much black. So this is my Alice. I haven't done an awful lot on it, and I think it's because I'm doing it in diagonals, and I think if I convert it to Royal Rose I will be much happier. So what I'll do is, yeah, I'll just try and get that converted over next time I spin it up in the wheel. Right, so that's those two. What else have we got? Ravens. So I have a little box here that has all of my things in it. My ravens are in this bag. Now, let me find you the picture for them. I'm actually being quite organised today. So it's this one, it's an Etsy pattern by Cross Stitch Gold Art. And as you can see, it's a circular monochrome pattern. Now, I tried to import this into Pattern Keeper because I usually use Pattern Keeper for anything that I can, and it just didn't, yeah, it just didn't. This is on 28 count even weave, and I have no idea why, but I did not start in the middle. I don't know what happened, but this should fit on, but only just. It's going to be tight, so this is going to have to be framed and stretched to within an inch of its life. I'm doing this monochrome, but with a variegated thread. It's a beautiful pattern. This is what I generally refer to as the cursed ravens, because the amount of this that I have had to frog, I don't know why, because it's on a decent count fabric, and yeah, I'm saying I'm being organised. I can't find the thread. Here we go. It is a DMC Colour Variations. It is 4245. Right, are we going to? There we go, 4245. And it's a, I don't know what this fabric is. I got it ages ago, and it's a kind of light purpley sort of colour, even weave. It's a really nice fabric. I like working on it. So that's that one. That's my monochrome piece. The next one is a printed pattern. Now, when I first started cross stitching again, because I used to cross stitch years ago, and then when I moved away from Scotland to England, I moved with practically nothing. And when I decided to pick up cross stitching again, which would have been probably 2018, because that's when I got my Snow White and Alice, I was kind of dabbling. And then I found all these patterns on Amazon and eBay and things like that, and I didn't know. They came in kits, they were cheap, they were like nice patterns, so I bought them. Printed pattern. I got this one on Amazon. This is going to be Harley Quinn from Batman. Let me see if I can find the cover photo for it. So I am aware that these are, I know you do get like proper legit printed patterns. I know this is probably not one of them. I think this is an AI generated image though. So there we go. Harley Quinn. And these are like really good for if you're learning to stitch, they're excellent, because all you have to do is follow the key down the side and just match it up with the colour, match it up with the thread, and that's it. And you just put crosses on every colour that matches that thread on the key, and that, you know, if you want to practice the making of the crosses and have a bit of a safety net for the counting, then printed patterns are really good. Even if you're not a beginner, like I'm not a beginner, but I like using printed patterns sometimes because they're easy and I don't have to think and I don't have to count. That's on a 14 count Ada. So the kits, you can get them on Amazon, eBay, whatever. I know some people feel a certain kind of way about them, but at the end of the day, I have the kits, so I'm going to use what I have. I just won't be buying any more. Somebody had asked me before, because I'd spoken about this before on my other channel, and someone had asked me why it's bad to buy these things. And it's not necessarily bad as such. It depends on what the pattern is. A lot of designers get their patterns stolen and then converted into like kits or patterns or whatever for being sold really, really cheap through places like Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, Temu, places like that. So it's not that the actual type of stitching is bad. If you want to do printed cross stitching, that's all you ever want to do, great. You know, you're doing something you enjoy. Just be wary of where the stuff is coming from. Be aware that sometimes they steal other people's designs, which is not cool at all. So I have that one. The next one is another kit. This one isn't a printed one though. This is a company that I found out is notorious for making these like cheap kits. It's a Totoro. And again, this was I have the kit, so I'm going to use it. And this is where we are on that one. This is on an 18 count Ada. Just plain white Ada came with the kit. And it's quite nice. It's like enough block stitching that it's not too stressful to stitch, but at the same time it's got enough colour changes so I don't get bored. I have ADHD, I get bored very easily. So there we go. It's like next to my seat in there, I've got my loudest stand set up that I keep my my Heaven and Earth on because I'm stitching on that every day. And then on the other side of me I have a table which has my socks that I'm knitting. It has whatever cross stitch I'm working on for the day, and on the floor underneath that there's a basket which currently has a shawl in it. No, it currently has 2 shawls in it for crochet, a jumper that I'm knitting, and I also have a blanket that I'm crocheting for my son in a different basket. So I sort of switch between everything when I get bored. Right, the next one is Xenia. Oh no, I put my cup down on my mic, not my mic, my mouse. And this is actually what I spun on the wheel for today, so I'm going to be working on her today. Xenia, she's not a Corbett, she's my fancy lady, and I have been working on, change the screen back, I have been working on the bottom part of the dress, and I've got enough framework in now that I'm going to be colour completing this. So I'm going to be working on this one today. She's not the most bead-tastic, which is good for me because she's my very first fancy lady, and I know that beads can be a bit of a thing. I think this is on a 16 count, just a plain tan Ada. So yeah, she's lovely. But I think the beads are only, see like the red bits on here, these are all the beads. And then just a little bit on the glass there. These little tendrils are beads. And I think that's about it. Oh no, she's got some around her neckline as well. And then there's like a couple in these bits here. So she has some beads, but not a huge amount. So that's nice. Because I love the look of beads, but because I've never done beads before, apart from on a Mill Hill kit, I'm not sure what my children are doing. If you heard a weird noise there. My youngest got an Alexa for Christmas, so there's all sorts of weird noises come from the bedroom on a pretty much constant basis, which is either him making weird noises or him yelling at Alexa because she's not doing what he wants. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Next up, what do we have? We have my PDF choice, which is Dracula's Confessions. And this is by Lindy Stitches. Let's have a look. There we go. Now, when you buy this pattern, you get both versions of these. And the one that I'm doing is this one, the top one. Oh, here we go. There's some close-ups. So all this black here, this is all done in, what's it called now? Black coral, which is a Dinky Dyes. It's a mixture of Dinky Dyes, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. So my brain just went, oh. So I haven't made a huge start on this. This is on 30, it's a 32 count or 35 count, can't remember. And this is how much we have on that. That's the Dinky Dyes. It's the first time I've ever used silks, and I really like it, and I could see how people just want to use silks all the time. Unfortunately, my budget does not stretch to me using silks all the time. My amazing storage system for this. So yeah, that's not much to show you on that one because I've literally, it's just a black blob. And the last one that I have is an Etsy pattern, which I was working on yesterday, in fact. What did I do with it? Found it. This one is Those Who Deny Dragons by Kick Stitches on Etsy. And this is what I've done. Although it has occurred to me that I think I have done it wrong because I changed the colours and I think I've grabbed the wrong purple. Because see on here, it's the darker bit of purple. Right. Why? See, it's the darker purple around the darker green around the edges, and then the lighter one is in the middle. And I've grabbed the lighter one to do around the edges. I'm gonna go with it and see how it looks, but I might end up having to take out this purple again. Oh dear. I changed the colours on this because I wanted it to look more like Spyro. Because I've been playing Spyro on the Xbox and I thought he was cute. So yeah, and this has been done on an 18 count fabric flare. There we go. 18 count fabric flare, fairy dust cloud, blue and pink. Fabric flare is printed on one side and plain on the other. So it's nice. It's very nice. And that's it. That's all of my WiPs. All of my stitchy WiPs. That's everything that I work on. So what I do is, like I said before, I'll come in the morning, I spin the wheel, show you what I've been working on for the day before, and pick what I'm going to be working on for that day. And then once a week I will show you my heaven and earth progress. So yeah, I think that's everything. If you have questions, comments, anything, just leave me a comment. If you want to get a hold of me, Instagram. And I need to try and do something at the carnage. I've not long moved in. So I moved in a couple of months ago, and then my ex keeps bringing more stuff because I was storing a lot of stuff at his house. And it's been Christmas, so everything's just chaos. But I will try and sort out the background a little bit. Okay, I will be back on Friday. I have recorded for today. I've recorded my little snippet, so I'm going to be working on Xenia today. And yeah, I'll be back Friday with my actual Flosstube. So hopefully I'll see you then.